Hello basketball coaches and basketball players, my name is Alan from Al's Basketball Training, and today I'm going to give you some 4-out basketball plays that you can run against a zone defense, and I'm also going to give you some simple, quick strategies for players, but also for coaches, so that you can beat any zone defense that anybody runs against you. Of course, you can use my Unbeatable Basketball Defense, which is in the link beneath this video. Go check that out because these strategies will not beat that. Anyways, let's get down to the clipboard. Let me show you these strategies. So first off, as a player or just coaches, if you want to teach your players this is a fantastic strategy that you need to implement. So first off, I'm showing you a 2-3 zone. Now, really quickly, basically, in a zone, you're guarding a zone on the court, an area of the court, and not a nice individual person. Now, going from there, simple, quick strategies. There's gaps in zones. In a 2-3 zone, there's 3 gaps. If you can attack those gaps, you are going to collapse the defense. Or if you get the ball in between those gaps, especially in the low post, you are going to be able to collapse the defense and get yourself easy baskets. And how you do that is by having player 1 attack the middle. That is going to collapse those 2 players, which now leaves players open on the free throw line extended. Now, if you were to attack players 4 and 1 by using most likely player 4 blue, if he was to attack those 2 players, most likely they are going to collapse on him, which will then leave the 3-point line open. Same goes on this side. If one of those 2 players was to attack those 2 players, then player 3 over here would be wide open for a 3-point shot. Now, going from there, if it was a 3-2 zone, there's even more open areas for you to attack. So, for one, of course, if you get the ball in the middle, it's going to collapse the 3-2 zone very easily. There's going to be a lot of players open along the 3-point line. Now, also, if you attack in between those zones, you're going to be creating a lot of 3-point shots also from the 3-point line. So if player 3 attacks, that's going to collapse those 2 players. You may have player 3 open now. You may have player 1 open now. And if player 1 gets that ball, it's going to bring player 3 up, which is then going to have player 4 open, which will bring player 4 up. Player 5 can move over, and he can score. Just a simple strategy that as a coach or even as players, you can use yourself to create many, many baskets. I'm only going to show you the 2-3 and the 3-2 because they tend to be the most prevalent. But first, a quick play that you can run against a 2-3 zone defense. First off, most likely what you're going to be seeing is the defense ran like this. Now, from there, what you're going to have is player 5 showing to the high post, and we're going to have player 1 pass the ball into player 5. At this time, I want to have player 1 use player 5 as a screen, and this is going to be a quick dribble handoff to player 1. Player 1 is then going to be able to attack the net, and he may even be open for that layup. Or if player 5 was to drop off and we had player 3 setting a screen on player 2, or even player 3 setting a screen on player 4, whatever you prefer as a coach. If it was a 3-2 zone, you would be setting the screen on 2. If it was a 2-3, you'd be setting a screen on player 4. Player 2 can go down towards this low corner. This can be a hammer pass out to player 2 for a 3-point shot. So, whether or not player 1 gets that layup, he still has an option out to player 2 for a 3-point shot. Again, as I was explaining how you can beat pretty well any zone, by getting the ball into the high post, you are essentially attacking that area where player 5 is, and it's going to allow you to collapse the zone, which you did. You had these 2 players on him by having player 5 be used as a dribble handoff. Now, another play that you can use is this one. Player 4 is going to set a screen on player 1, and that's going to be bringing player 3 up. We can have player 5 set a screen on player 3, and player 1 is going to be driving towards the rim. Obviously, this is going to be bringing player 5 down to defend player 1 1 from getting that basket. However, this is actually a play that we see the Toronto Raptors use quite often, this player 5 being Serge Ibaka, and player 5 will then roll off of that screen. Player 5, Serge Ibaka in this case, would get that ball, and he would be able to do a quick floater to the basket. Again, a nice simple play that doesn't take a lot of thinking that you can teach your team if you run the 4 out against a 2-3 zone. Now let's switch over to a 3-2 zone, and I can run some plays against that. Okay, so now against a 3-2 zone, what we can do really quickly is actually have player 2 over here. He's going to do a high cut across towards this low corner. Now we have essentially overloaded the zone, because now we have a player who's wide open over here, and this can actually be used to our advantage, but we also have a player open over here. So at this point in time, we're going to be having player 5 trying to get around player 5 by still guarding him, but being able to pop out on player 2. Now, if player 1 wants to pass to player 4, and so that player 4 can pass to player 2, that is an option, and he will have most likely an open shot. However, what I like to do here also is have player 1 attack player 1 and 2, and we're now going to be able to kick the ball out to player 3, and player 3 is going to be able to take that shot. But also, we can have, if player 4 was to close out on player 3, we can now have player 5 go over towards this low post, and he most likely will be uncontested for that layup. Now, if he was contested, if player 5 came over and now we have basically screwed up their zone, we can have player 2 cut down cutting baseline, and he would be open for that layup. So that's another great play that you can run, and this is against a 3-2 zone, and it's with a 4-out offense. Again, we're attacking their double team locations, but also creating the ability to offset their defense so that it creates open spots and open baseline drives or cuts by other players. Another play that you can run is having player 2 set a screen on player 1. Player 1 is going to use that screen. That's going to be drawing player 2 up. That's also going to be drawing player 4 up a bit higher as well, in which case now player 4 is essentially guarding 2 players. If player 1 is a very good passer, he can get that ball to player 3 or beam it down to player 5 for that layup. Now, player 5 is the end game here. So basically what we're looking for is if player 4 red was to play deeper zone and allow player 3 to be open, now player 3 could take that shot. But if player 4 closes out after player 3 gets that ball, player 3 can then pass the ball down to player 5 for again another easy layup. However, something to keep an eye on is if player 5 red was to play tight defense on that, we want player 2 to be cutting, because player 1, he needs to usually stay up top. He doesn't usually go down low and defend. So player 5 could pass to player 2 as a quick, easy layup. Again, player 2 here, this would be more of a read and react, where will player 1 actually leave him be when he's driving towards the rim? And if this is the case, then it's worth a try for player 2 to try that, and if he gets away with it, then we can really butcher their 3-2 zone, because we've now essentially brought their 3-2 zone into a 4-1 zone, which in this case does not work, and they are not used to running a 4-1 zone. Now there is a 4-1 zone that you can use, and that is another defense called the perimeter basketball defense that you can get very soon in the link in the description below. Now, of course, this makes it look really weak, but it's not. It's actually a very good defense if used correctly, and obviously if you're running a 3-2 zone and you're getting flexed into a 4-1, you're not used to running the 4-1. So again, go check out that book very soon in the link in the description below. It might be out by the time this video's out. I'm not too sure, so go check that out. But anyways, I hope that you have enjoyed today's video. I hope that these plays help your team win more games. Go check out my Unbeatable basketball defense as well as the perimeter defense down below in the description and maybe in the comment. And I'll see you guys again later on today for the second video of the day.